If you're watching this video, it is because you run a soccer academy and things are not working the way it should. Maybe enrollment is inconsistent, maybe families are leaving and you don't even know why. Maybe you're doing everything right on the field and you still feel like the business is not growing as it should and the way the program deserves. This video is going to show you exactly why is that happening and what a fully functioning and professional academy looks like when it is built correctly. My name is Gaby Privitera, I'm a former D1 soccer and I'm the founder of Staros. We are an operating partner for soccer academies. We build the infrastructures and the system that most academies never have, so they can operate professionally and develop players. By the end of this video, you're going to understand completely what we do and the framework we use, what each part does and why it exists, and of course, what changed for your academy when everything is working together. So let's get into it. Every academy I talk to has the same conversation with me. They say our coaching is good, we're developing players, our players are improving, our methodology is solid, but we cannot see the growth. We don't grow consistently, families come and go. Some months are great, and other months, we lose 2, 3 families and so on. And they don't even know why they left. So here's what's actually happening. Most academies are built like this. Coaching is very strong, families are leaving, new players, inconsistent. The coaching is strong, everything inside the program is real, but everything outside it, the way families find you, the way they experience joining, the way you communicate with them, and the way you prove their child's developing, that entire outer layer that you can see here does not exist for most of the academies. And what happens when that outer layer does not exist? Families who were interested never find you. Families who reach out never hear back from you and went somewhere else, most likely with your competitors. And families who enrolled never felt the experience was professional enough to stay. Most importantly, families who stay with you never had the proof that their child was improving, so they start questioning their investment. The coaching never failed them. The system around the coaching did. That is the problem Staros was built to solve. Not coaching, not methodology, the system around the coaching that makes a great program visible, operational, and impossible to leave. So when this outer layer is built correctly, everything changes. The academy starts functioning like the professional operation it already is on the inside. So let me show you what the system looks like. The Staros framework has 4 layers. Each one builds on the one before it. Together they create what we call a complete academy system. Today I'm going to walk you through each one in depth, and by the time we finish, you will understand what each layer is, why it exists, and what your academy looks like with and without it. So let us start at the foundation. The infrastructure. Most academies operate on chaos and goodwill. New messages coming in through Instagram DMs, WhatsApp messages, Facebook comments, word of mouth. Someone might follow up manually when they remember. Payment is collected through Venmo or Zelle or cash at the field. Enrollment is stuck in someone's head or a spreadsheet that is 3 months out of date. And at the end of the day, that is not sustainable. And more importantly, it is invisible. You cannot measure what you cannot track, and you cannot improve what you cannot see. So infrastructure fixes this completely. Here's what it looks like. So first, the CRM, as you can see here. A customer relationship management system where every single lead, player, and family lives. Every inquiry that comes in from Instagram, from an ad, from your website, from a referral, gets captured automatically. And of course, lives in one place. No more lost contacts, no more I think someone messaged us last week. Every family is in the system with a timestamp, a source, and a status. This alone changed how the academy operates, because you go from reacting to information to having complete visibility over everything. Next, we got the pipeline, enrollment pipeline. This is a visual representation of exactly where every prospect or every family or player stands in your enrollment process. Every family is sitting on one of those stages at any given moment. So you open one screen and you see the complete health of your enrollment. How many families are in conversation right now, how many are in trials, how many trials are booked, and how many families are one conversation away from enrolling. Now the landing page. Landing page and lead capture system work together. Your landing page is the dedicated page families land on when they find you. Through an ad, through social media, through a search. It is clean, it is clear, and it communicates your program, your value, and the next step. The lead capture system means every family who fills out any form on that landing page, your website, anywhere, flows automatically into the CRM. No manual entry, no information sitting in an email inbox or a DM. It goes directly into your pipeline. The good thing about this closes the leak that most academies have at the very top of their funnel. Families who were interested are gone because nobody captured them properly. Automated follow-ups. This is where most academies lose families because family fills out the form, they're interested, they're warm, and then they wait 2, 3 days, nobody responds. By day 4, they already contacted another academy and made a decision. With an automated follow-up, the moment a family submits a form, they receive a professional response within minutes, not hours, not days. One confirmation and welcome. On day 1, day 3, follow up if no response, and day 7, that final message. This is not done manually. This is done automated and personalized. It runs whether you are on the field or not. The response time alone increases your conversion rate significantly. Families who felt ignored by other academies suddenly feel like your academy is the most professional one they contact. The trial booking and the live dashboard. That completes the infrastructure layer. Families book their own trial sessions directly from the landing page. They pick a date, they get a confirmation, they get a reminder 24 hours before. No back and forth coordination, no scheduling chaos. And the dashboard ties everything together. It is a real view of your entire pipeline. Open inquiries, book trials, and role players. You open it, and in 30 seconds you know exactly where your academy stands every day without asking anyone. So this is what the infrastructure does. It takes a program running on chaos and goodwill and turns it into an operation with complete visibility and zero manual leakage. And here's the most important thing to understand about this layer. Infrastructure is not glamorous, infrastructure is not fun, it does not directly bring you new players. It does not make you coaching better. What it does is make sure that every single player, every single family your academy could have actually gets captured, follow up with, and converted. It stops the bleeding before you start growing. You cannot build on a leaky foundation. Infrastructure seals the leak. So now let's go to layer 2, the acquisition part. So once the infrastructure is solid, and only then we activate the acquisition layer. The acquisition layer, this is a layer that answers the questions every academy owner asks constantly. Where are my next players coming from? The acquisition layer is a multi-channel system designed to bring the right families to your academy consistently every single month. Not occasionally, not when referrals happens to come in, every month, predictably. So let me walk you through each component. Let's start with meta advertising. Facebook and Instagram is the primary paid acquisition channel. We run targeted campaigns reaching families of you players in your specific market. But I want to be clear about something. This is not just running ads. Anyone can spend money on Facebook, basically. What matters is the strategy behind the ads. We target by geography, interest, behavior. A family with a child in a youth sports program, a family actively searching for soccer academies, a family who has engaged with sports content recently. We get specific because specific targeting means qualified leads, not just volume. And the campaigns are A/B test continuously, 2 versions of every ad running simultaneously. We measure which performs better, we scale what works, we cut what does not. Every week the campaign gets smarter based on real data from your specific market. Let's talk about the ad creative. Ad creative is what the family actually sees. Most academies make a critical mistake here. They run generic graphics, stock photos, text on a color background saying join our academy, and that does not work in 2026. Families scroll past it without even thinking. What works is real content, real footage from your sessions, a coach correcting a player's technique in a way that makes parents think. That is a level of attention my child deserves. A player hitting a skill they could not do 3 months ago, the environment of the academy, the field, the atmosphere, the culture, visible on screen. That content makes a parent stop the scroll because they're not seeing an ad. They're seeing a window into a program their child could be part of. Now let's talk about Google My Business and review generation, which are the organic credibility layer of the acquisition. When a family hears about your academy from an ad, from a friend, from anywhere, the first thing they do is search you on Google. What they find determines whether they contact you or move on to the next academy. A fully optimized Google My Business profile means your academy appears when families in your area search for soccer programs. Complete information, photos, program descriptions, service areas, hours, and of course, reviews. The reviews are especially critical, right? Families making decisions about where to put their child read reviews the same way they read restaurant reviews before going out to dinner. 5-star with 20 reviews from real parents is one of the most powerful trust signals you can have. And the review generation system prompts satisfied families to leave a review at the right moment. And after a great trial, a strong season, after a player milestone, They have questions. The review generation system prompts satisfied families to leave a review at the right moment. After a great trial, after a strong season, after a player milestone, it is systematic, it is automated, and it compounds over time. Every new review makes the next enrollment slightly easier. Now let's talk about long-form nurture. It's one of the most underused tools in youth sports marketing, especially in soccer. And here's the reality. Not every family is going to enroll immediately. Family hears about your academy, their interest, but they're not ready to commit today. They have questions, they're comparing options, comparing academies. They want to see more before they actually make a decision. And without a nurture system, that family disappears and you never hear from them again. With a nurture system, that family receives a structured sequence of communication over 30 days. Week 1, program overview and what makes your academy different. Week 2, a player development story or a testimonial from a current family. Week 3, a deeper look at your coaching methodology. Week 4, direct invitation to book a trial. By the time that family reaches week 4, they feel like they already know your academy. The decision to book a trial feels natural. Not pushy, natural. And this is how you convert warm leads into enrolled players without a single additional ad dollar spent. Now, trial conversion. This is the bridge between a family visiting and a family actually enrolling. Most academies think the trial sells itself. Family comes, the session is good, they enroll. Sometimes that happens, but often a family has a great experience and then goes quiet. They needed one more push, one more conversation, one more reason to commit. The trial conversion system provides that automatically. The day after a trial, a personalized thank you message. 3 days later, a follow-up asking about their experience, answering any questions. 7 days later, a final invitation to enroll with any remaining hesitation addressed. That sequence, running automatically after every single trial, lifts your trial to enrollment conversion rate without any additional effort from you. And finally, reporting. The monthly performance report closes the loop on the entire acquisition layer. Every month you receive a one-page summary, how many leads came in, how many trials were booked, how many players enrolled, what each enrolled player cost to acquire, which channel performed best, what gets optimized next month. And this is how the system gets smarter over time. Every month the data tells us where to invest more and where to pull back. The academy that has been running this system for 12 months has a significantly more efficient acquisition engine than it did on day 1. Data compounding every month better than the last. Layer 3, retention. This is a layer that most academies skip entirely, and it is the one that costs them the most money. And here's the math. If your academy has 100 players and you lose 5 families per month, that is 60 players per year walking out of your door. Let's say at $120 per month per player, that is $7,200 per month in revenue you have to replace just to stay flat before you can grow a single dollar. You first have to replace, $7,000. And that is a retention tax. Every academy pays it, and most just do not measure it. The retention layer exists to eliminate that tax. It is built around one principle. Families do not leave great academies. They leave academies where they stop feeling like they were in the right place. So let me show you how we fix that. The first component of retention is philosophy alignment. Here's a scenario that plays out in academies constantly. I see it, I lived it as a player. You can see a player trains with Coach A on Monday. Coach A emphasizes in pressing high and defending. And on Thursday, the same player trains with Coach B, who tells him to stay in position and be more conservative. The player is confused, the parent is confused. They see inconsistency and they interpret it as disorganization. They start wondering, does this academy actually have a methodology? Or are the coaches just doing whatever they feel like? Philosophy alignment means every coach in your academy uses the same language, the same principles, and the same progressions across every age, every session, every interaction. This doesn't mean we're going to cut the creativity in coaches. It creates a framework within which every coach operates. The players feel it, the parents see it, and suddenly the academy goes from feeling like a collection of individual coaches to feeling like a unified program with a genuine identity. That identity is retention. Now, professional onboarding is the second component. This is the second component. Think about the last time you joined something new. A gym, a service, a program. The experience in the first 7 days determines whether you feel like you made the right decision or whether you start having doubts. Most academies do zero onboarding. If family enrolls, they get a payment link, they show up to the first session, nobody was expecting them, nobody introduced themselves, Nobody explained how things work. They fumbled through the first weeks feeling like outsiders, basically. And that is a retention problem waiting to happen. Professional onboarding means every new family receives a structured welcome, a welcome message from the academy the day they enroll, a program guide explaining how everything works, a first session where someone is suspecting them by name, a check-in at the end of the first week to answer any questions. 7 days of intentional experience that tells a family, you made the right choice. You belong here. Now, proactive communication is a third component, and possibly the most underestimated. Most academies communicate reactively. They send messages when there's a problem, when a payment is due, when a schedule changes, when something goes wrong. That trains families to associate your academy with stress. Every message from the academy is bad news or a request. Proactive communication flips this completely. The academy reaches out before families have a reason to worry. A message before the big tournament, a note recognizing a player's improvement, a preview of what is coming next month, a check-in that asks how everything is going, how the families experience the program. Small messages, high impact, because they tell the family, we're paying attention to your child, not just coaching them, paying attention to them as individuals. Families who feel seen, they do not leave. Re-enrollment automation is the final component of the retention layer. At the end of every season, families make a decision. We stay or we leave. Most academies handle this passively. They assume families will just keep paying. They do not have a structured re-enrollment process. And what happens? Some families drift. They were not unhappy, they were just not reminded why staying was the right decision. So they took a break and the break became permanent. Re-enrollment automation solves this. 45 days before the end of every season, every active family receives a re-enrollment sequence. A summary of their child's season, a highlight of the progress made, an early enrollment offer for the next season, and a personal message from the academy. Families who receive this sequence re-enroll at a significantly higher rates than families who receive nothing. Not because they were pressured, but because they were reminded of the value that they were already receiving. Now, layer 4, proof. The fourth layer is the development proof. And I'm going to touch on this briefly because it represents the most advanced stage of the system. The concept is simple and powerful. A family can feel that their child is actually improving, but feeling and knowing are very, very different. When a parent feels it, they stay. When a parent knows it, they never leave and they tell absolutely everyone. Development proof means every player in your academy has a documented record of their development over time. Baseline evaluations when they join, quarterly assessment measuring specific competencies, professional reports delivered to parents showing measurable improvement in numbers. Think about what that does to a family's decision to stay. Their child joined 6 months ago, they receive a report showing their positioning improved 31%. Their technical execution under pressure improved 24%. Their decision-making speed improved 19%. That parent is not thinking about other academies. They're thinking about how long they can keep their child in this program. This layer is what separates academies that families choose from academies that families cannot imagine leaving. We will cover this in full depth in a separate video. So this is the complete Staros system. Layer 1, infrastructure, the foundation, every lead capture, every follow-up automated, complete visibility over your business at every moment. Layer 2, acquisition, the growth engine, paid ads, organic presence, Google credibility, trial conversion, long-form nurture, new players coming in consistently every month. Layer 3, retention, the compounding layer, philosophy alignment, professional onboarding, proactive communication, re-enrollment systems. Families staying for years instead of seasons. Layer 4, development proof, the identity layer, measurable data that makes the program impossible to replace. Each layer depends on the one below it. You cannot build acquisition on a broken infrastructure. The leads fall through before you can convert them. You cannot build retention without acquisition. You have no families to retain. You cannot deliver development proof without retention. Families leave before you can show them the actual results. This is why the sequence matters. This is why every academy we work with starts at the foundation and builds upward. Because a system built in order compounds. Every layer makes every other layer more powerful. An academy with all 4 layers running is not competing with other academies in their market. They are operating in a completely different category. So what this means for your academy? Let's make this concrete. Without the system, enrollment depends on referrals and hope. Families find you accidentally. families ghost you, you have no idea why families leave, re-enrollment is passive, and growth feels completely random. With the system, every lead is captured and followed up automatically, trials are booked without coordination, enrollment converts at a predictable rate, families stay and re-enroll, development is documented and visible, and growth is intentional. The coaching does not change, the program does not change. What changes is everything that surrounds it. And here's the most important thing I want you to take away from this video. The best program does not always win. The best program with the best system wins every single time. If what I just walked you through resonated, if you watch this and recognize gaps in your own academy, the next step is a strategy call. That call will look at your specific academy, where you are right now, what's the biggest gaps, the first 90 days of building this system looks like for you specifically. There's a link below this video to apply. We work with one academy per zone. So if your market is available and you're serious about building this, click the link and apply. And I'll see you in the call.